I've picked up quite a few cameras over the years, and it's no surprise to anybody that one of my favourites is the GoPro. I love these things, and this one here is my GoPro Hero 9 Black. It's a fantastic camera. I've got the mod case on it, so it gives me extra functionality. And another thing I really love doing is macro photography. So when I saw this, a macro lens adapter for the Hero 9, naturally I had to buy it, and it's arrived. Well, you can see that. So what I'm going to do now is go outside and find some cool shit to take some photos of and put it onto here and just compare the difference between shooting photos with the macro lens and shooting photos without the macro lens on the Hero 9, and let's see whether this $30 lens was worth the money or not. So let's have a look at this thing. It comes in a fairly neat little package to protect it, and if I open that up, it pops out pretty much straight away. It's got a brand on the bottom of here which is JSR, and on the top of it it says 15 times. Looking at the piece of glass here, I'm inclined to not believe that that's going to give us 15 times magnification, but that's not particularly surprising. Okay, so I'll just drop that there, and here's the GoPro, and let's fit it on here. Oh, just quickly while I'm pulling this out, the casing is aluminium, and the specs say it's got optical glass. That's about all it does say on the website. So I'll just pull this out of here, and I'm going to take off the GoPro lens, which just twists 90 degrees like that and pops off. Then I can put this magnifying macro lens on here. It's a similar sort of thing underneath that you find on all of these lenses, so those bars just go top and bottom, turns 90 degrees and fits into place there quite nicely. Okay, and I'll just put that lens back in the box there for now, just to keep that nice and clean. There we go. So let's have a look at this. As you can see, it's a lot more pronounced roundness on the top than the standard lens does, so it is going to give us some form of magnification. I'm just not sure how well that's going to work. So what I'm going to do now is just set up a few things on the desk surface here, and I'm going to get some shots and we'll see exactly what this thing does do. I've set up a few tests here so that I can compare the normal lens to the macro lens. As you can see, it definitely does make a bit of a difference. I've got to say that while it does bring the focal point closer, which is a great thing and what a macro lens should do, as you can see there isn't a lot in the way of magnification. In fact, there's no way I would call that 15 times magnification, perhaps 0.05% magnification at most. However, as a macro shot, it does let me get much closer to the subject while keeping it in focus. As well as the photographs, I've taken a few motion shots and it has the same effect. I'm able to get much closer without everything just being a blur. As you can see here, I'm getting all the crisp detail in the characters in the background. And in this shot where the GoPro has trouble focusing on the foreground, I put the macro lens on and the foreground flowers are definitely much more in focus. Well, I think you'll probably agree with me in saying that that's not a 15 times lens. It's certainly not 15 times larger than what we're getting on the normal GoPro. I'm guessing it's a bit of a typo on the casing, because honestly that's a 1.5 times lens at best. What it does do though is it does shorten the focal distance quite a bit, so we can get a closer photo to what we're getting, and for that, yeah, okay, it's worth the $30 I paid for it. I think that's around $20 US, $30 New Zealand. So yeah, I'm glad I bought it. It's going to be useful to me for getting some closer up shots of things that I wouldn't have been able to get in such high detail previously. But for what it's advertised at, no, it's not a 15 times lens, not even close. Is it a macro lens? Yeah, it's kind of-ish, I guess, but that's about all I'll give it. Anyway, there you go. I got to get some good photos. It does work. It does do a good job of getting you closer to your subject, just not as much as they said it was going to. So there you go. Anyway, if this has been useful to you, do please click here and subscribe, and don't forget to watch this video and this video as well, because they've got some stuff in them that's going to be useful to you. I'm sure it does. And I'll see you later on in another video.